This is defense mode, switching to attack mode, and let's see what we got over her. It's my first time, not my first time, but you know, my 5,000th time starting off freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Which is Master Duel is something that Yu-Gi-Oh! Konami, whatever you want to call it. They should have came up with this 1,000 years ago. They should have came up with this way back when Duel Book and Duel whatever it was Bin came out. And when they shut them down and then don't come up with a proper replacement. And the replacements they come up with for trash. And after all these years, they finally decide to come out with their own thing. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Almost a few years too late, because now the Yu-Gi-Oh! Is moving in a different direction. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is moving into the freaking Rush Duel direction, because they got sick of Master Duel and all the freaking convoluted rules they have. Got sick of all the convoluted rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And that's when they decided to come up with the freaking their official, you know, main Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel version. Their version of Duel Book, their version of Duel, insert name here. They came up with their version. Finally, they came up with their version when they're already moving away from Master Dueling. Not that they're gonna get away from it forever, but you know, Rush Duel was way too early into infancy to replace it yet. They already had Speed Duel, which they was supposed to be a replacement, but ended up being now it's just as convoluted as Master Duel because they're adding all the freaking added features of the freaking generations. They're about to add freaking Yu-Gi-Oh! Reigns' version. What's it called? Forgot the name. But they're adding it. Link summoning. I don't know what my brain couldn't think of it, but yeah, link summoning. They're adding that recently. They already added Arc 5 and the Pendulum summoning. They already added Pendulum. I already said Pendulum. They already added why is my brain blanking out? Synchro summoning and XZ summoning. Once they added XZ summoning, that's when I knew, okay, Duel Links is going down. It was fun while it lasted. But that's when we have Rush Duel. And that's not convoluted yet. And that's obviously the direction they're heading in because the next anime show is based on that. And the one after that is going to be based on that too. What's the point of going to Master Duel at this point? What, to add another feature to make the game even more convoluted than it is? So that's why we're now in the Rush Duels. God knows how long it's going to take for that. How long is it going to take for that to get convoluted? It took a few years for Duel Links to get convoluted, to speed dueling. Rush Dueling will get there eventually, but not yet. And it's not even competitive right now. It's still Master Duel, because Master Duel is the bread and butter, as we all know. So, there goes that. This is clearly the practice version where you automatically gonna win because they tell you what to do. Not that you need to be told that. Duel Book was the other one, right? I forgot the names of all of them over the years. I remember that. I just know they keep getting shut down. That's all I know. I know all these freaking own versions of Yu-Gi-Oh! Get shut down. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Never themselves, they only came out with games on the consoles. They never had like an official version that you can play on the PC, or like, you know how they have now, where they have Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. You can play anywhere. You can play on your Switch, PS5, 4, any console you can think of, including the PC, even on your phone. But something like this had to be done in the later years because back then you wouldn't be able to come up with a thing that you could play on your phone and your console and your console and that's a console on your PC and your phone and your console at the same time. So came out at a good time, I think. You know, Duel Book and Duel whatever, insert name here, Duel whatever stuff that were like, you know, supposed to be, since Yu-Gi never had their own official PC version, they had their own PC version they didn't want to go on to. Those ones sucked because they were like playing, they made it like you're playing for real, like you're playing against an opponent in real life, except you guys are virtual. Because if you play against someone in real life and they try cheating or whatever, you can catch them right there on the spot and be like, hey man, you know you're not supposed to do that, or hey man, you know while you checking, you know, your deck or whatever or something like that, you know, you could stop them, or you could just walk and believe, like, you're gonna be stupid, let me leave. When you play on Duel Book or Duel Net or Duel whatever, and you played it online, and you had the freedom to freaking draw as many cards as you want and look through your deck or your, you know, any kind of crap you want to do, people did that all the time, and then what that made you do? You made it like, oh, you're typing him against stop being a fag. He's like, fuck you, man. I'm going through some shit. And you're like, I don't give a shit. We don't want to play the game. Next thing you know, and then it has to be what, like a there has to be like a virtual policeman or virtual, like, you know, supervisor or parent on there, so you could be like, hey, what you like, hey, what are you doing? No, we're kicking you out. With Yu-Gi-Oh, with the official Yu-Gi-Oh game, they could just preset the rules in the game. That way you can't do stuff. Hey, you're only gonna draw 5 cards. You can't draw no more. Say you can't, you know, look through your deck. You can't, you know, put a card down that has 8-star monster without sacrificing, you know. So that's why the official Yu-Gi-Oh game has always been better. That's why I've always played the Yu-Gi-Oh games. I never freaking went to Duel Book or Duel whatever. And now that they have their own official versions, all the more better. Makes it all the more better to freaking play. Because they already had Duel Links, which is just, you know, which is fine. But now they have Master Duel. Duel Links is on PC as well. It's like, it's a wet dream for all those Yu-Gi-Oh fans who don't like dealing with people. And like Yu-Gi-Oh and Konami just to come up with a game where the rules are preset so no one can cheat. So now when you do with someone, you either do what they're supposed to do or they, you know, just like every other online game, right? Every game online has rules. You go, you know, away from the rules. You do something stupid, and you get banned and all that good stuff. So now Yu-Gi-Oh finally has that. It's a good day to be a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I should say good, you know, a good what? I don't know why I'm blanking out for. It's a good time to be Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Is what I meant to say. I don't know why I had such a hard time playing that trap card. I'm not used to all this clicking on my mouse. I'm used to just touching with my finger. Even though the mouse is basically just touching the mouse with your finger and doing it for you, but you know. I'm getting the hang of it, guys, don't worry. I'm not even playing right now. It's a practice thing where everything's see, well, I'm just doing what they told me to do anyway, so it's not like I'm freaking actually playing right now. Yeah, shut up. Activate skill successor, yeah, shut up. So we're gonna go ahead and activate skill successor. It is, well, that's the name, skill successor. What does that do? I'm not sure. Gain tax, sure, why not? And that was even more attack than last time. Some cards are better used in the graveyard. Alright, we're gonna summon this. It is what, Blade Knight? What's this monster? Chosen by the World Chalice? Type of name is that? Is a weird. I love those weird, really long, over convoluted names that they have for some of these monsters. I summon Chosen by the World Chalice in attack mode. And what's your next monster? Blade Knight. Alright, we're gonna battle. And I'm pretty sure the duel's over. Yep, it's over. We're just gonna reduce his life points to 0. Yeah, shut up. Come on. Try to tackle him. You're done, son. It's over. Chosen by the World Chalice, attack and end this duel with swinging sword. I don't know. I always like when they come up with names for the attacks for the certain monsters, like Flame Swordsman attack, Flame and Sword of Battle, or you know, Dark Magician, Dark Magic attack, Blue Eyes White Dragon, White Lightning, Red Eyes Black Dragon, Inferno Fire Blast. Always loved that. Always added that extra epic feel to it when a monster had a name for their attack, like it's their finishing move in a wrestling match. I love it. Unfortunately, I'm not creative enough to come up with names for some of these monsters, especially when most of these monsters are dragons and swordsmen. Like, how many things can you say? You know, I remember these in Celtic Garden, Slice and Dice. And it's like, okay. I think I'm actually going to play by myself this time. Shut up. Alright. Beckoned by the World Chalice. Weird monster. 1600 attack. I'm going to summon the one with not as much attack. I summon Chosen by the World Chalice in attack mode. And then I put a card face down. Should I activate a spell? Nah, let me not put nothing else. I'm done. Alright. End this shit. Can't believe the Yu-Gi-Oh creator died. And I'm such a Yu-Gi-Oh fan that I can't think of the Yu-Gi-Oh's creator name at the top of my head. Don't mind that, it's my phone, and yes, that is from Yu-Gi-Oh! Dawn of Destiny. If you don't recognize, you ever played Yu-Gi-Oh! Dawn of Destiny? That is my text message notification. Oh, remember that noise every time you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Dawn of Destiny on the Xbox? Every time a duel started or whatever. Oh, so you're hearing it right. Yu-Gi-Oh! creator name. I'm sorry, man. These names are, the Japanese names are convoluted to me because I'm an American. KAZUKI Takahashi. There you go. Can't believe he died, man. I can't believe he died. Alright, why the hell did I do that for? He's like, I'm pissed off, he's gonna destroy my car. So I'm like, no, I'm gonna destroy your car before you destroy my car. It's the typical petty BS Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. If you know, it's so freaking petty. Should I put another card down? Just to piss him off, why not? If I put the fields for a card down, then when the field cards on, you're gonna know what the hell it is. Even though it's a computer, it's probably stupid. Alright, so he summons Prison Guard Karibo. What the hell is that? Pirate Karibo, I guess? Alright, show me the 5 top cards of his deck. He draws 1. Remove trap. Oh, he's gonna use that against me. But too bad the turn to change. Actually, I could have used that card. What the hell am I doing? Use card, dude. Yeah, let me activate it now. It's about that time. I activate Sorcerer's Spell Wall, the field spell, in attack mode. And I summon Beckon by the World Chalice in attack mode. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go into battle. Chosen by the World Chalice, attack with Swinging Sword of Battle. And Beckon by the World Chalice, attack with... What weapon does he have? Is that a spear? I don't know, with spear throw, with spear slice. There you go. See? I told you I suck at these names. I have leveled up to level 2. Yeah, but I can't believe KAZUKI Takahashi died, man. Am I supposed to come up with a rhyme with all my videos and I forgot? KAZUKI Takahashi. I'm trying to think, hold up. The little child went poopy on his mommy. KAZUKI Takahashi. Little child went poopy on his mommy. Bam! Not a perfect rhyme, but I came up with something. Gotta apply methods. You got to. So there's your rhyme. Yeah, but I can't believe he died, man. That was just out of nowhere. One day you look up and say he died, you know, doing snorkeling or some weird thing. He was one of those adventurous guys that loves motorcycles and snorkeling and doing all types of stuff. You know, for someone who created a card game, you'd think he'd be some kind of introverted, you know, stuck at home, like playing indoors kind of person. No, the guy's adventurous. He made mangas for a living. But instead, he went ahead and freaking like doing these adventurous things. He loved motorcycles and this, that, and the third. And like he created manga, and he created a card game, even though it's kind of by accident. You know, he created the original manga story is about this dark version of like this kid who freaking just this kid who unlocked the Millennium Puzzle and unveiled this dark version of himself, or just some dark entity in general. And when he went up against boys and stuff, you know, he would play, you know, he's called the King of Games for a reason. So he created some weird game and then defeat him in it and then killed him at the end or some weird stuff. It was a dark anime. A dark manga that went into an anime, didn't go nowhere. But the first episode was, you know, basically the first episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters thing was, you know, Kaiba green hair for some reason. And they played a Duel Monsters, was just a parody of freaking say Magic the Gathering. Isn't none of them Magic the Gathering? I forgot. How do I always forget these names? Every time when it comes to record these videos, my brain just goes blank. But you know what game I'm talking about? It's not Magic the Gathering. It's the other card game, Dungeons and Dragons, right? Anyway, and there's supposed to be a parody of it, but they became so popular they created their own, you know, card game out of it, which is kind of lackluster, and they didn't really have too much rules about it, so it just kind of But once they saw that the readers were more into that than anything else, And it's not like the Yu-Gi-Oh manga was that successful anyways, like modestly successful. The original anime is just season 0 as we call it, lasted like what, a few episodes and that's it. And then even the later episodes they added some more Yu-Gi-Oh card game part because that's the most popular part. So then eventually they're just like, alright, let's just create a whole arc based on, you know, duel monsters. Since everybody seemed to love that, and they actually created actual rules for after it. Then the anime followed shortly after that had to be way toned down compared to the freaking manga version, which then the American version from, you know, 4Kids had to be even toned down from that. So tone down, but you know, it's all good. But the fact that he was like you're already a rich guy, you made the most popular card game on the planet, why must you do adventure stuff like go snorkeling somewhere and you're freaking, why couldn't he just be a lazy introverted fuck like me and the rest of us that play this card game? Why do you have to be all adventurous and risk his life for? He probably died, you know, with no regrets, which is good. But it's sad though. Is he even still part of the freaking this whole Yu-Gi-Oh card? I'm pretty sure he's been left since 5Ds, right? Like he hasn't been. I know he's still the creator and all that stuff, but like he hasn't really been a part of Yu-Gi-Oh in many years, right? Over the years he's just supervising it. Like he's not really like making the stories and all that stuff. He's been tuned out of his own creation, man, and been doing his own thing. So like it's not like he's gonna have any effect on Yu-Gi-Oh, the series or the card game or anything. But it's still sad to see him go like that. You know, if you died doing what you loved, being adventurous and doing all that stuff, then R.I.P. You lived a good life. You created one of the most popular games on the planet. Not just, you know, card game. Well, it is the most popular card game on the planet, but even now doing the thing was based on that was parroting. The card game was parroting, and they become more popular than the game was parroting. Crazy, huh? Because no other card game on the planet has a freaking anime show to tie in with it that people want to watch. So you can see the card monsters come to life, and that makes you want to actually play the game yourself. Just like watching the Pokemon anime made you want to, watching the Pokemon anime, watching the Pokemon fight each other made you want to go and play the game and use those Pokemon. I know that was the case with me. So, but just not one of the most popular card game on the planet, one of the most popular games, period, on the planet. You know? Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always done well, still does well. Master Duel's doing well. Duel Links did well. You know? So, he really left a legacy, you know? He created a game that all of us fucking enjoy. So, in that case, okay, I'm here talking. Okay, yeah. Out of all the decks, I'd love to use Yusei's deck from 5Ds because his deck is probably my main protagonist deck from all the Yu-Gi-Oh characters. I love his Junk Warrior decks and Junk Monsters and all that stuff. So, I'm clicking it. But yeah, man, just sad that he passed away the way he did. I don't know if they still have. I don't know why I'm like that. Have they figured out how exactly he died yet? Like, did he drown? Did his thing not, like, what happened? Did someone toss him overboard? I was actually waiting until they actually came up with an official like way of how he died or whatever. I don't think they still haven't figured it out. Probably not gonna figure it out for a while, but again, still sad. Alright, this is the boring part where I'm gonna spend 1,000 years downloading something, so we're gonna end the video here. The attack mode switch back to defense mode. R.I.P. KAZUKI TAKAHASHI. Your work lives on. Your work will probably live on forever. Because as long as there's fans like me who I've been addicted to Yu-Gi-Oh ever since the beginning, man. Ever since I first got into it, just like Pokemon, I'm still into Pokemon all these years later. I'm still into Yu-Gi-Oh. Those are like the two things I'm never gonna not be interested. Till the day I die, I'm gonna be all over Pokemon, all over Yu-Gi-Oh. Those are just my passions, man. Attack goes back to defense mode. R.I.P. KAZUKI TAKAHASHI. You will be missed. And most importantly, y'all, thank you. Thank you for creating this game for us, man. Changed my life, I know that.